friends, nice to see you again, or if you're new here, welcome to Everything Elle, where I talk about mainly books, but sometimes other stuff too. Today, as you can see, I have a special guest. My fiance is back for another video. We're going to be doing an original tag that I created, and I'm just gonna call it the newly engaged tag, even though we're not necessarily newly engaged.
A couple months.
Yeah, it'll be a year in June since we got engaged, but I was looking around on the internet and I didn't find a engagement tag. I just really wanted to do this. I wanted to talk a little bit about our engagement, a little bit about the wedding process. So it's a super short tag. I have 7 questions. So let's do this. Question number 1, how did the proposal go down? So our engagement was very private, very personal, which I really love. I feel like a lot of our love story is very much like us. We're not super big on social media either, even on our personal social medias, we've kept our relationship very much to ourselves, and I really love that. So he took me to a park that held very special significance to the both of us. He sat me down on literally the exact same bench that we were at on our very first date, and he just got on one knee and he gave me this cute little speech kind of thing that he wanted to formally, officially, I guess, start the rest of our lives together at the exact same spot where it had all started, where our love story started. And I thought it was very, very cute. After that, we went and took some pictures. He hired a photographer, and so we took some pictures downtown in our city, and it was very us, which I enjoyed.
It was nice. I liked it, but it didn't go down I ran it through in my head. I did things last minute where I messaged the photographer and I was like, hey, should I get balloons, or would that be cute for a photo shoot or
Props,
something,
basically.
and she's like, well, yeah, if you want to. She's like, or no. And then I was running around town, and then I had to go pick her up and take her there.
So question number 2, and this is for the person being proposed to, but it is, did you know the proposal was coming, or did it catch you by surprise? I knew it was coming. We had a bit of a disagreement, or just a misunderstanding. I think it was a week or 2 prior where he actually let slip that he had been talking to a photographer. So once he said that, I was on guard, I was like, okay, it's coming. I don't think he meant to tell me, but he did.
I wasn't trying to tell you either.
Yeah. I think it just slipped. He didn't say what the photographer was for, but it's why would we need a photographer? So that was about a week or 2 prior, so I did see it coming, but I still loved it anyways. It didn't change the emotions that I felt. Even though I knew it was coming, the second he started getting on his knee, my heart started racing. I think it was still just as emotional as it would have been if it would have been a complete surprise. Question 3, how did you know they were the one?
It's been since the beginning. Honestly, we were both very serious about getting into a relationship, and I was done with the BS of the high school type couples, and I was like, I'm done, Our first date, I asked her, I was like, would you like to go to dinner with me? And it sounded kind of cheesy for a 17-year-old to ask.
Let me tell you, I haven't had a lot of dating experience, actual serious dating experience. He is my first official, I took home to mom boyfriend. So I had never in my life been asked to dinner before, and we were pretty young. He was 17, I was 18, and I'm like, this sounds like a joke. Who does this, you know?
And I've never actually ever asked someone to a formal dinner. We're not playing games. This is the real deal.
Yeah.
So I've known since the beginning.
So I feel the same. I knew from the beginning this was going to be a very long-term thing. Like he said, we were both extremely serious. And it's so weird, we've actually said to each other, even though we didn't know, we kind of had a feeling this is the person I'm going to be with for a very long time. And every day he just proves to me that he's the one. He is so understanding. He is so patient. From the first date, I struggle a lot with anxiety, and it was so hot that day. I think it was the middle of summer.
We were sweating bullets.
It was bad. But because of my anxiety, I couldn't eat inside at this new restaurant. I didn't want to risk having a panic attack, on my first date when I'm trying to impress this boy. So I asked him if we could sit outside. I think I told him right from the beginning, hey, like, these are some struggles that I have. And even though it was so hot, the sun was blistering outside, like he was like
blinding. I couldn't even look at her.
Yeah, but he was so cool with it. He's like, yeah, we'll sit us outside, like in the car, like, are you okay? Like, he was just so attentive to my issues instead of like, being weird about it, like, oh gosh, like this girl's got some baggage. So yeah, definitely right from the beginning we knew that we were going to be together for a long time. And also, he doesn't mind me blasting BTS in the car 24/7, and he bought me BTS tickets. So, I think this is a 1. Question 4. What are you most excited about wedding planning? I'm not excited about wedding planning, to be honest. It's so stressful to me.
Yeah,
first of all, because COVID, God knows how many people we're actually going to be able to invite. Second of all, it's expensive.
We got high standards for a wedding.
We do. I mean, because
not high standards, but we don't want to cheap
we have high standards, I would say. Yeah. I think we know what we want. We know the type of wedding that we want. Yeah. And I mean, if everything goes well, like, we plan this to be our one and only marriage. So, we really want to go big or go home. So
only one I'm ever gonna pay for. So.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the dream wedding.
We want this to be our dream wedding, but with everything going on, financial and like pandemic wise, it's just very difficult. So I'm not looking forward to actual wedding planning because I just know I'm going to be so stressed. Is there anything in particular you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to finding the right caterer because we gonna do a lot of sampling and I like to eat. And we're gonna hire someone that cooks authentic Mexican food.
Mexican food, yeah.
So
definitely. Question 5. Do you have a honeymoon destination in mind? Yes, we are going to be going to a resort in Mexico, and I am totally blanking on the name of the resort, but we know we're going to Mexico. Yep. For a while, we were kind of playing around with, do we want to go to Aruba? But we just figured this resort was just so nice, and we've been to Mexico before, so. Question 7. What are some things you need to work on as a couple?
Time management? I don't know. It's difficult not living together.
Yeah.
So we can't get on a good routine schedule, but
yeah.
I mean, I feel like we're pretty good. What were you going to say?
I was going to say communication, and that is totally definitely my side. Although you too, not necessarily like when you're angry, but just like describing your feelings in general. Our communication, I don't want to say it lacks because we do eventually talk about it, but the thing is we wait until it is to a certain point where we can't like hold it in anymore, and that can cause...
It just festers for a little bit.
Yeah, it just festers and definitely can cause some arguments. Like I said, it's mainly me just because I have a hard time telling him when something upsets me, but I get upset about it. But I just find it so hard because it's like, why don't you know what's upsetting me? Why can't you read my mind? Like, you should know this is making me angry.
Yeah.
And then for him...
It's the same thing. It's just I don't feel like talking about it. I feel like...
Yeah, it's like I get angry and I'll show I'm angry, but I won't tell you why I'm angry. Him is like...
If I'm mad about something, I want to fix it myself. I want to do it myself.
Yeah, he doesn't really talk to me about it. He won't tell me. But definitely I have, I think, bigger communication issues just because I make it an issue.
At least you know you do.
I do, yeah.
So, yeah.
But one thing that we have, and I will say that I've learned since being with you, is learning to apologize. And before, like, saying sorry, I struggle.
It's not in her vocabulary.
It's not in my vocabulary, but since meeting him, he very much is, if he messes up, he will say sorry right away. So I have had to learn, like, when I mess up, I have to say sorry. So I feel like sorry has become more of a thing for me now that I've been with him. And then the last question, question 7, seeing where you are now, is there anything you would change about your love story?
I mean, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Say it.
I feel...
Just say it. Here's that communication coming into play. Just say it.
No, I was going to say there were some mistakes made very early on in our relationship where we actually broke up for a while. So I feel like if we would have avoided that whole thing that happened at the beginning. But then at the same time, I wonder, like, would we be where we are now? I think it helped us settle down, like that breakup we took.
Not saying I enjoyed it, but
no, but I think it made us both realize, it made me realize, like, this is who I want. Anyways, would we change anything about our love story?
Other than that,
I don't think so. And even that, I'm kind of like, would I change it? Would I not? Would we be as strong as we are right now if we hadn't had that experience? And that's really all of the questions that I had. Super short, sweet tag. I'm not gonna tag anyone in particular because I don't really know many newly engaged couples. Also, if you are interested in hearing more about our relationship, what we have gone through, if you're curious and knowing more about us and our relationship, leave me a comment down below. I am totally down to do a story time or something.
I'm down with that.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. My name is Elle. I can't wait to marry you. And I'll see you in next time's video.